This is Miraj. Miraj makes a living as a travel writer. He loves motorcycling, golf, playing the guitar, and just bumming around. He's decided to travel for a year to find himself. About time.
This is Johan. Johan is a photographer. Johan is Swedish, but he's lived and worked in 4 continents. He's done some pretty interesting gigs along the way. Johan's current obsession is shooting astral time lapses. He plans to backpack in India for a year of travel and adventure.
On the eve of Wion Traveler's road trip to Ladakh, I discovered that I need to renew my visa and can't leave. Miraj calls his friend Rich Epen, who flies down from Mumbai to accompany Miraj on the road. The pride of my scintillating company, Miraj and Rich try and make the most of the journey, passing through Manali, over Rohtang Pass and on to Leh. I've meanwhile caught a flight to Leh and checked into the luxurious Grand Dragon Ladakh. With an extra day on my hands, there's not a moment to lose. There's souvenirs to be bought and donkeys to be fed. Miraj and Rich fetch into Leh late in the evening and we're all together again.
What a location, huh?
Yeah.
This place is just stunning.
Look at the sky. The night sky at Leh is always just like spectacular. As is the food.
Yeah.
Well.
Fish, excellent. What fish is it?
So this is trout.
Oh, is it? Lovely. Lovely.
Nice.
From the Manali.
From Manali, obviously.
Nice.
Obviously. So, Raj, in Leh, the Buddhists don't like, they literally like, it's almost taboo.
Right, to have fish.
So, literally like till a few years back, you couldn't get fish in Leh.
Oh,
and you still can't go around fishing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's a real
Treat to have fish.
treat to have fish in Leh.
That's amazing though.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah. But I have to say, this is pretty cool. Our own barbecue, watching the night sky in Leh. And this is quite the treat, man.
Well, that's what happens when you hang with Wion Traveler.
I should definitely do it more often, that's for sure.
At Wion Traveler, we basically get people to sample the fine life while backpacking. Because when we started off, the whole idea was we're going to backpack all over the country.
Clearly, you're not slumming it.
I think Miraj's notion of what backpacking is very
really
different
different
from what mine.
Chicken rosemary.
Yes, thank you.
Because these guys are going to spoil us silly, aren't they?
I know. No, one is fine for now. Thank you.
Sure, I'd like to try.
I'll have one of them.
What else is on the menu today?
So the mutton chop also we have.
I'm sorry, the
Mutton chop.
Mutton
Mutton
chop.
chop rules.
Lovely.
Bas.
Yes.
But I have to say, I'm loving this hotel.
Pure
Grand Dragon.
non-vegetarian is
Yeah, it is
like
quite.
potato.
I love our room.
Yeah, our rooms are pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Johan, can you pull out your app and tell us which star is where?
Well, I certainly can.
All right.
I think that must be a planet for sure over there.
That's probably Venus.
You are correct.
Thank you.
Venus over there. Oh, Jupiter over there.
Oh, wow.
Saturn over there. Hey.
Wow, you have
And
Saturn,
Mars over there.
Saturn and Mars in one frame.
And the moon.
That's amazing. All of those planets
that's
in...
four planets and a moon.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing I miss most about living in the city, that you have no night sky at all.
At all.
How's it going?
Hi, Johan, how's it going, man?
Yeah, good.
Hey, how's it going,
How are you
buddy?
doing, man?
We're just chilling, bro. Today's just the acclimatization day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, true.
we thought we'd just chill in the hotel and, you know.
How did you find the ride, huh?
Dude, it was insane, man. It's unlike anything I've ever done before. I mean, that ride up from Manali to Rohtang Pass, it was unbelievable. And the change in topography, like every pass that you go through, the vastness. I mean, you know, when he was trying to convince me to get to Delhi to take this trip with him, I don't think he could have done any justice to the hard selling.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that view is just something else. I mean, I don't think pictures or videos can even do justice to that, right?
Yeah.
It's insane. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's an incredible
mind-blowing.
scenery.
And it's a good day to chill.
Yeah, and it's pretty much what you have to do the first day after reaching, I suppose.
Yeah, it's been cool.
Who's winning?
right.
Who's winning?
Well,
Shoot some pool.
Yeah, of course.
all right,
I'll let
let's
you
do
guys
this.
sing.
Winner stay. All right,
All right.
let's go. Well played, man. Well played.
Thank you for
Worthy opponent.
that game was gift wrapped and given to me as a present. Well, Johan, you want to play some?
I would love to play, but I went into town yesterday and Jamie said that he's leaving for Suru tomorrow.
Jamyang is the guy who's putting this festival, Suru Festival.
Oh,
together.
right, yeah, of course.
Oh, really?
So don't you think we should go in there and say hello to him before he leaves town?
And we convince this guy to come along.
I think so.
Let's see.
Huh? Should we?
Yeah.
Sure. Good idea.
Let's
do it.
At the Gravity Cafe.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool.
I've known Tenzing Jamyang and Sohail Kakpuri for many years now. Jamyang, or Jammy as everyone calls him, has emerged as the leader for the climbing community in India. Johan and I have gone climbing with Jamyang in Delhi, and now we are planning to end our Ladakh trip in the remote recesses of Suru Valley in Zanskar, where Jamyang and Sohail have been organizing a bouldering festival for the past few years.
Nice gap. Jammy. Good to see you. Sohail, good to see you. Not too long.
The Suru Boulder Fest starts in a couple of days, and these guys are leaving early tomorrow morning. We'll catch up with them next week.
Come, guys. Gravity Cafe. Wow, it's been a long time, man.
Come, bro, come.
Wow, looks the same, man.
Gravity Cafe is one of India's first climbing gyms. Ever since Jammy and Sohail set it up, it's become a meeting point for climbers visiting Ladakh.
So, Jammy, how are the preparations going, bro?
All good, bro. Much bigger this year.
Than what, 2016 when I came?
Yeah, much bigger than then, but bigger than last year also.
So, how many people?
Expecting like 150, maybe.
150.
We never know, until the last minute, until the person's there.
Bro,
Yeah,
we are prepared. Last time I had a one-man tent. You remember my little tent?
Yeah.
One day I woke up in the morning and there was a big bhed standing outside. It looked bigger than my tent. This time I got myself a nice large tent. I got myself an air mattress. Even got myself an air mattress pump. I've got a tent organizer. Okay. I've got like a little table, books to read, graphic novels.
You have a butler outside?
No. So Johan is like, all this is very well, but I have a feeling the climbing community is like a grungy community. They might laugh at you. Especially if it's only you in there.
We'll give you a separate section, bro.
Thank you very much.
For your mansion.
The mansion.
Yeah, the mansion.
For me, a trip to Leh is synonymous with a motorcycle ride, and I've been raring to get a bike ever since I got into town. Ridge has had enough of a road trip and heads straight to the hotel, while Mirage and I are heading out for a ride. Stansen Sonam runs Venture Third Pole, a motorcycle rental and tour company in Ladakh. Stansen studied at Delhi University, but moved back to Leh a few years back. He's a bona fide motorcycling enthusiast. His garage includes a Triumph Street Triple and a Triumph Tiger, among other bikes. When we asked Stansen to recommend a ride, he suggested we check out the less visited Chemrey Monastery, a 90-minute ride from Leh, and even agreed to loan us a couple of bikes.
Motorcycling in and around Leh is great fun. The roads are mostly wide and well made, a real contrast to the tough sections on the road from Manali to Leh. Even though riding up here from the plains is really the thing to do, what Johan has done is the next best option. Catch a flight and rent a bike here. It's also cost effective compared to taking a cab. On the flip side, it's also a bit dicey because suddenly you will find gravel on the turns, and the landscape is so mesmerizing that it can distract your attention. Johan is obviously having a whale of a time, especially after Stanley let him throw a leg over his fancy adventure bike.
Chemrey Monastery is typically not on the tourist map in Leh, and is lovelier for it. This gorgeous structure, like other monasteries in this region, commands a vantage point on the top of a hill northeast of Karu, on the road to Pangong Lake. Built in 1664 by followers of the Drukpa sect of Tibetan Buddhism, this monastery is well known for its collection of ancient scriptures.
Wow, this is a really old monastery, yeah?
Looks like it's majorly in construction right now.
So they're reconstructing the whole place right now. So mostly, if you see this wing, it was earlier, it wasn't there. So if you, this whole part they've extended by layering it from the bottom of the mountain, like they've structured it like that.
The paintwork is amazing.
Yeah.
It looks like brand new gold all around.
How old do you reckon this is, Chemrey?
I wouldn't have the exact date, but yeah, it's
Not
around.
as old as Basco?
No, not as well as Basco, yeah, for sure.
What type of temple?
It comes under the Drukpa lineage. So So by the main head monk is the Dukchen Rinpoche.
Right,
So the one who is very active on cycling, and he's when yes. Yeah.
Once in Changthang, I saw he was going on a procession of cycles, yeah, in 2016.
They did recently, I think last year they did from Delhi, from Leh to Nepal, and Nepal to back.
Nepal to back on cycles?
On cycles.
That's a long distance on bicycle.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you would probably do it on motorcycle.
Yeah. Yes.
Even today, Leh's skyline is dominated by the Lachen Palkar Palace. The massive 9-story stone structure lies at the base of the Tsemo Ridge and towers over the old town. The palace was abandoned in the mid-19th century after the royal family left Leh following the Dogra invasion. Despite years of decay, the old town, an ancient settlement of about 200 stone, mud and timber houses, survives on the southern slope of the hill below the palace. Considered Ladakh's living heritage, the old town was originally encircled by a wall of rammed earth, the remnants of which still exist. We're taking a walk in the old town today. Accompanying us is Tashi Morup, the project director with the Ladakh Arts and Media Organization. LAMO, which is based in Old Town, is a not-for-profit organization that works with reviving traditional art forms and preserving the creative heritage of the region.
Yeah.
What is this, man?
This is the first west entrance to the old town of Leh. So this is usually the old town historically had five or six gates.
I see.
So all the gates look like this.
Oh.
And you have a stupa above, and you have to go underneath, and then just after the stupa you used to have the entrance gate.
Okay.
Right. So this stupa is also called Kagani. So often these gates are called Kagans or Kagani. It's a Sanskrit term.
Okay.
So the old town had historically had 6 gates.
Right.
Right now the 4 gates are still there.
Okay.
Okay.
And the old town was entirely fortified.
Right. Obviously.
Yeah.
Walls all around there.
All walls all around. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
If I tell you about little bit about the story of the old town, traditionally there were 120 families
Who lived in Old Town?
who lived in old town,
Right.
who were assigned different roles
By the king.
by the king.
Right.
And we have the 17th century Leh Palace also.
Right.
So there were 60 families on this side and the 60 families on the other side. And there used to be a dividing wall also, which I'll show you later.
Right.
Palace and 60-60.
60-60, yeah.
Wow, okay.
So those two settlements were called Skyaos Tukchu and Goksum Tukchu. So this part is Goksum.
Okay.
And we have the Skyaos. Skyaos literally means beyond the wall. So I'll show you.
Beyond the wall.
Beyond the wall. This is one of the prominent houses in the old town of Leh.
This one?
It belongs to, once the family were the traders or the merchants.
Right.
So, Old Town has this story about traders coming from different parts, Central Asia, Kashmir, mainly from Central Asia, Kashmir.
Right.
And
On horseback?
On horseback, on mules, not mules, sorry, but camels, double hump camels.
All the Bactrian camels?
Yeah, Bactrian camels, and also yak and donkeys.
Right.
All those animals were used. As
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the age of this
Back animals.
of these structures?
Sorry?
What is the age of these structures?
Well, the old town itself came into existence prominently in 17th century, around 1665, when the palace was built. Here, this little space opens you to new other buildings in the old town of Leh, and there are lots of restoration work going on right now. Yeah. And then this organization called Leh Old Town Initiative, LOTI, of Tibet Heritage Fund. They were earlier working in the Lhasa. Right now, for so many years now, they've been restoring old houses in the old town of Leh. So far, they've I think restored more than 20-25 houses. So as I've told you about the Maitreya temple, one of the 3 Maitreya temples, so often the keeper of the key is too busy to hand over the key. So let's try. Let's ask him if you're lucky that he's kind enough. He's kind enough. Yeah. Yes, he's right here. Old gentleman here. Well, Julie. Kong Delhi ne mane ngata TV ma chenmo ji no ya na. Tene kong I zabik she gompe na ngata zupo chakulik po. Naku ngata chamba zabik ko kebal.
Tashi mentions that traditionally the keys to the Maitreya temple are kept with one family. We need to be lucky to see it though, as the gentleman who's the current safekeeper of the keys is, according to Tashi, temperamental. He turns out to be right, as the gent is in no mood to open the temple. Our luck kicks in though, when his lovely wife overhears us talking and indicates that she'll come along with us and let us into the temple. The White Maitreya temple is one of 3 Maitreya temples in the Old Town. It is believed to have been constructed by King Trugspa Bumde in the 15th century.
So
look at the artwork.
This is stunning.
Yeah, this is the standing Buddha, you can say, or the future Buddha. Right. So we,
So Maitreya Buddha again.
Maitreya Buddha, yes. So this temple is actually, it's really old. It was built in early 16th or the 15th century. This is one of the 3 temples in the old town of Leh.
But why would they build 3 of the same temple, like 3 Maitreya temples, rather than like say 3 different Buddha's temple in 3 different areas?
Well, that's a good question. I really have no clue about it. From the layman's perspective, there's a story about why 3 temples. It is said that this temple and the middle temple and the top temple of the Maitreyas are actually showing Maitreyas in different age-wise. Like
also poses, perhaps.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah. Okay. So, but then we have to go around this statue. We have to circumambulate. Yeah.
Okay, after you.
Yeah. Okay.
In ascending order of heights.
Okay.
With or without hair?
This is really narrow, and there's also sort of a belief that if somebody gets stuck, then it's not good.
It's not good?
Yeah. Yeah, so...
Oh, look at that.
Here's the good angle to the palace.
Oh, it's a climb also.
Yeah, so you have to climb up a little bit more, and then we are at the Lama Center.
Oh yeah, the Lama Center is here.
Yeah.
Below the palace are 2 structures that have been restored and house the Lamo Center. The center has an art space with galleries, offices, a library and a reading room, screening room, conference room and an open-air performance site. The center conducts outreach programs, lectures, film screenings, research and documentation projects, workshops and exhibitions that showcase Ladakh's material and visual culture, performing arts and literature.
So here we have the Munshi kitchen or the living room, still intact with the old setting.
Stove.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pots and pans, but
This is amazing.
Yeah, it's all been taken away, but we still have one pot lying here, which is stone pot.
stone pot.
Stone pot, yeah.
Actually, I've seen that on Turtuk.
Yes.
Stone pots and even pressure cookers.
Yeah, it's usually made there, and it's called doltok.
It's called?
Doltok. Doltok, yeah. So, the one quality about this doltok is if you cook food, then it keeps spoiling even after taking off from there.
Oh, wow, it keeps, because it's stone, it just remains warm.
Yes. Yeah, we have 4 of them.
It's a 4-burner stove. Wow.
Exactly. And the house lady, the mother would sit here, and you have the space for the fuel, dry dung and wood and other things. And then you have the below, the air to pump in. Traditionally, a skin gourd would be used.
Air pumped in?
Yeah.
So they sit and
to blow the fire.
Oh, right.
Keep the fire.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And that's the skylight, and also the
natural skylight.
Yeah.
But the smoke would be going
smoke
up.
outlet as well. Yeah.
All right. So
and these are the shelves. All the pots and plates and everything will be kept here. And this part is for the water containers, and that's still we have this the ceramic container called Zama.
Zama.
Yeah, the local pottery.
Is that for water?
Yeah, that's for local chang, the beer.
local chang.
Yeah.
Where can we get good local chang?
Nowadays it's a little bit difficult, but you'll definitely get somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, well, very helpful.
We ask people around here.
Okay, I just did.
Yes.
It's been a fascinating experience exploring the old town. This part of Leh has remained largely intact on account of Ladakh's cold desert geology and arid weather. But with climate change, the region is witnessing unprecedented rain that threaten to damage these structures. That's what makes the work that organizations like Lamo and people like Tashi are doing crucial for preserving this living heritage for future generations.
Next week, Meraj and Johan balance a day of adrenaline-pumping action with a day of stillness. From bobbing about in icy waters of the Zanskar River on a raft, they experience a day in the life of Buddhist monks at Chemrey Monastery.